What's up, y'all? I'm Anna. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to share with you my makeup wish list. Now, if you don't already know, I'm currently on a replacement-only makeup no-buy, and I have been since July of 2019, and I plan on doing that until the end of June of 2020. So basically a year just offset by 6 months. Now, my goal for this no-buy is to, first off, get my collection down to fit into one storage space, because currently I live at 2 houses, and by the end of the year I will not. So there is that goal, as well as also just having myself set up healthy relationship with spending, especially because I'm going into college and I want to be able to have a healthy relationship with how I spend my money when I become an adult and independent in the future. So I think it's a good practice to do right now before it affects me more. Now, I have been having a makeup wish list. I probably near the beginning of my no-buy. It became a thing. It wasn't something I was planning on doing, but I just started seeing things that I wanted, and I just started to keep track of them so that I could keep them in there, and if I still wanted them 6 months later, then I knew that I'd actually want them and not just something that I think is cool, but then later I don't actually want it. Because you know how when you see something at first, you're like, oh, that's gorgeous, I love it, and then a month later you're like, I don't really want this. Or if you buy something, you think you like it, and then you realize that was just a phase for like a week. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to prevent that kind of spending, impulse buying. I'm trying to buy what I truly desire. Now, with that, it's been interesting to see how my wish list has evolved over time, where things come in or move out, and some of them have been there for basically the whole time or started the whole thing. But I just want to create this so that by the end of my no-buy, I know what I truly want to buy and what I feel like is missing from my collection, or what I want to replace things that I will use up with. Now, the first thing on my wish list might actually be the reason my wish list is there. Maybe. It is the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean palette. I really like the new e.l.f. palettes in general, just what they're making for eyeshadow. I don't know if I can express to you how much this palette inspires me and how much I want it. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk about past things, but a year or two ago, I started having this fascination with the color periwinkle, and I was like, why don't more makeup palettes make a matte periwinkle, or just that range of colors? And I have been longing for it for so long, and the ones that I've seen are like really expensive, high-end singles, and that's not what I'm going for. So I was like, no drugstore does this color, and I just kept on searching like what I want, and I really like pastel shades, especially because I'm so fair. I feel like they look better on me, especially cool tones. And as of the past year or something, I started getting the fascination with green. It is now my favorite color, but it kind of started where I was like, I really like green. I really like green. I want green eyeshadow now. And there's always like green shimmers, but I want a green matte, and I don't own any green mattes currently. Oh, but so when I saw this palette existing, first off, my taste kind of evolved. The matte is a cornflower blue, which I actually think I like better than periwinkle now. Oh, that color is so gorgeous. Oh my gosh. The palette has like the greens and the browns that I love, because I love trees and the forest and hiking, and those shades make me want to be out in the summer, and I just want to put that green matte all over my face. Maybe not, I don't want to look like Shrek. But there's that half of the palette where there's that gorgeous green matte, and there's green shimmers and browns that are neutrals to go with it to have that earthy tone, and then there's the other side where there's these gorgeous blues, and I have like 2 blue shadows, and one of them I frankened and it's almost done. It's that cornflower matte blue. I don't care if it'll look bad on me or not, I just want it. And then there's the shimmer. That silver looks so strong and metallic and gorgeous. And then that like jean color denim blue, that looks gorgeous to pair with like the cornflower blue as deepening the outer edge, or like as a liner. And then there's all these shimmers that are just like blue, and That like turquoise looks so fun for summer. It's just the palette is so different. You don't see palettes like that often, especially from the drugstore. A blue and a green palette for $14 for 18 shades. Pardon? Like, I need this. Out of all the things on this list, this is what I want the most. And I've wanted for the longest time. Amazing. It's gorgeous. And it's never left my wish list ever since it was there. It's been there, and every time I see it, I still love it. So it's definitely something I want to buy. It's not something that was like just an initial draw-in, because I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe, do I actually want this? But the more I see it, I'm like, no, I really want this, because I don't have any colors like this in my collection. Moving on. This next one is something for, if you haven't seen my eyeshadow 10-pan project, I'm trying to work on eyeshadows, and a lot of them are purplish toned, and so once I finish that, I still really love purples, and I'd like to have purple eyeshadows. The ColourPop Lilac palette, so pretty. I love that they have those like monochromatic 9-pan palettes, because if someone really likes a color, then it's like, yeah, that's what they'll want, you know? Anyways, this purple palette, it's just really pretty because it has all these light tones, and they're kind of pinkish purple, which I prefer. I mean, I do like purples, but more muted. But it's just something that I feel like would replenish my collection in a nice way, and I think it's really gorgeous, and I like how it's mostly lighter tones because I'm so pale. So like, I feel like that's my best pricing and quality option for replenishing my purple shadows. But I just like different variations of purple, and that's why I like frankening my purple shadows, because then I can just make like different undertones of purple, which I really enjoy. Now, speaking of purple and pink palettes, and e.l.f. palettes. e.l.f. recently came out with those bite-sized like quad palettes, which I love. So I don't like giant palettes because usually you have the shades you don't want in them, and then there's a lot of repetitive shades, and just it takes a lot of space and it's hard to store, and I'm not into it. I think that the 18-pan e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes is as big as I'd like to go. First off, because they fit like perfectly in my little makeup organizer drawer, so if it's any bigger, wouldn't fit. Don't want it. The ones that I have on my wish list are the purple one, which actually has a periwinkle in it, which is like the original shade I was attracted to, which is like amazing. It's just a really pretty palette, and I love like the shimmery purples, and I don't know, it's more purpley than the pinky ColourPop one, so I feel like it would replenish that aspect of purples. And I just think it's really pretty and not taking too much space. Like, there's no shadows where it's like, I don't need another brown, you know? It's just the purples, which I like. This next one is like the rosy, pinky, neutral shade, which I feel like would be a perfect everyday palette for me because it's what I like. So I feel like between the ColourPop and those two e.l.f. ones, I'd be set on pinky, purpley shades. Okay, moving on from eyeshadow palettes, I have my cheek products, which this one is a recent addition to my wish list, but I have looked at them for a long time. Whenever I go to Whole Foods, there's always like the makeup section, and Pacifica's there, and their blushes just look really pretty. I love glowy things, and I just like their glowy powdery blushes, and there's like two shades, and I feel like I like them both. I don't know if Camellia's too warm for me, but I would like to pretend that it isn't. It just looks really pretty. Another glowy blush that has been on my wish list for quite some time is the Flower Pyramids cheek color. I'm now just reading it. I just like how it's like glowy. It's in the shade Rose Glow, and I feel like that would be a really nice everyday glowy blush for me, even though I already have blushes, but none of them are like glowy. You know what I mean? They're like satin or matte, but they're not glowy. Another thing from Flower that I'd really like to try is their highlighting trio, the lighter shades. It looks really gorgeous, and it has like 3 different colors that you can mix and match, and I just feel like it would be really nice to have because I don't own any powder highlighters. I just use eyeshadows, and eventually I'm gonna run out of ones that I want to use as highlighter. So I'd like to buy something that I can use every day. And another Flower cheek product that I'm interested in is their Heatwave Luminous Bronzer. And I've seen a review, was it Sarah Hubler, I think? She's the one who does really in-depth decolors, and she like goes by color category, and I just love how she does it because she's like really like, I don't need duplicates of a color. She chooses her favorite formula, and she's also going cruelty-free. I just like how she does it. And she did like top 10 bronzers, and she said that the Flower bronzer was similar to the Physicians Formula one, and I do like the formula of that. So I am interested in using that if I ever finish all the ones I have already. But I am interested. It seems like a nice formula that's like maybe satiny, and it's not as bulky as the Physicians Formula one. And also I think it's a little bit cheaper as well, so that's why I'm interested. And the color I probably want to get is the shade Sunrise, because it seems like the more cooler, lighter toned one. And these next few ones on this list are all lip products, and that's kind of the thing that I'm most attracted to recently, because I don't have that many lip products, and I just want to explore colors and like get everything apparently. Now the first thing on my wish list is the Pacifica Color Quench lip tint. Yep, that's what it's called, in the shade Guava Berry, and it seems like just a really nice everyday like tinted lip balm I'm really interested in, because it's just a lip balm but it also adds a little bit of color, and it's like kind of pinky. It looks like a really nice neutral kind of my nude kind of shade. And in that same kind of realm, we have the Burt's Bees Lip Shimmers. I'm interested in the shades Peony and Grapefruit because they seem like really nice, everyday, like shimmery, kind of balmy, but it's like a lip gloss in a stick form. And I really like that concept. It seems like something I could easily travel with and put in my purse. It just seems something that's really nice and pretty. Now, here's the start of my lip gloss wish list. And, lip gloss is already the majority of my lip products are lip glosses. I only have 5 right now, and I'm working on using up one, but like, they take a while to use up, but I just want all of them, you know what I mean? The first one on the list is the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Oil in the shade Pink Cosmo, and this just seems like a really pretty pink shimmery shade. In that same vein, I have a ton of Milani lip glosses. I think it's called, they're like full lip, they're like lip plumping shades, but they're not. I have one of those and it's not like plumping, so maybe not really. It doesn't have that like tingling sensation that I noticed. But the shade Moonlight, so I used up a mini Mary Kay lip gloss that's like clear with iridescent shimmers in it, and at first I thought I wouldn't like it, but like as much as I wasn't a fan of the formula that much, I really liked the effect. And then there's the shade Pink Quartz, which is a shimmery pink. These are all basically the same thing of just, I think they're pretty and I'd like to have it, please now. And Prismatic Peach is just a peachier version with like a gold shimmer, which I think would be really nice for like summery looks. And then there's Champagne, which is shimmery, which I feel like would be a nice neutral kind of warmish tone, because I don't have a ton of warm lipsticks because they mostly look awful on me. But I feel like it would be kind of warm, but not too warm to look bad, you know? Next few on my list are from Ulta's brand, and they are cruelty-free, which I think is really cool, and they're also not that expensive. And they're Luxe lipsticks. Some of the shades I am interested in. Now, the shade Party Crasher doesn't have shimmer, but it's a little more purpley, and it just looks really pretty, but I don't know how often I would wear it. I don't know if I'll do like an updated wish list for the future, like in the next, like when I'm nearing my end of my no-buy. I don't know if I'll do an updated wish list of like what has changed, or maybe once I have a no-buy, or like once that ends, I will say like what I bought for my wish list. I don't know. So I opened my door so my sister's dog doesn't scratch at it. Just ignore that, everything's fine. Another thing from Flower Beauty, in the shade Barrymore, first off, great pun. It's just a really pretty berry shade that I am interested in buying. I don't know. I just like the shade, and I only have 4 lipsticks in my entire inventory, and first off, I never wear like 3 of them. The other 3 are like brighter colors, but this one's like a more neutral tone lipstick that I don't know, it just looks really pretty. I feel like the tones of Flower lipsticks just look really nice. Now, another Ulta product is their sheer lipstick, and the shade Rose Petal looks like a really nice, again, kind of like a tinted lip balm feel of sheer. Just attracts, I like lip gloss and tinted lip balm. I like that sheer look a lot of times. Another Ulta lipstick, but this one's in the shade Brick House, which I feel like is a really nice warmer tone from the previous one, which I'm attracted to because I don't have that many warm tone lip products. And this last one is by Flower, and This shade just looks absolutely gorgeous. It's in the shade Wild Berry, and it's like this deep berry red. I just think I don't have anything like it, and it looks absolutely gorgeous, and I'd love to like have it for the fall and winter months specifically. And lastly, I have 3 brushes that I'm kind of into. The e.l.f. detail crease brush. I have smaller eyes, and so I'd love to have something smaller like that. Anyways, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!